Hello everyone, welcome to DataTherm's next session on modern application security. Today we'll be talking about the security of your cloud applications as they reside in the cloud. With that, let's go ahead and get started. So today we're going to be talking about a gotcha with AWS. Now there's gotchas with every single platform, whether it's AWS, GCP, or Azure. All of them have their security positives and all of them have security negatives. Unfortunately, it's not quite apples to apples when comparing the security features of each because they're all different. They all have their advantages. So it's kind of like apples to oranges. So while we're talking about a gotcha with AWS today, in this series of knowledge sessions, we have the same thing for GCP and Azure, which are all different, but not one is better than the other. They're all different in terms of security. So let's go ahead and talk with the gotcha about AWS today. So if you have VMs that are labeled as EC2 Classic, that does not mean it's a classic car, something you want to covet. It actually is a very bad thing. It means you have a VM on a flat network shared with other customers of Amazon on that same flat network. So what that means, if you have competitors, if you have different organizations, you are on the same flat network or your servers are on the same flat networks as them. So you have no segmentation, no ACLs, no filtering whatsoever. You're out there just simply exposed to anyone who's on that network. So this is similar to being in a hotel lobby, a Starbucks coffee shop, or a hotel, or a airport network. Absolutely no security whatsoever, but unlike your mobile device, this is your servers running in the cloud sharing the same network as someone you don't even know. In fact, if you look at the lower half of the screen, Amazon clearly says the same thing, that your instances were running a single flat network that you share with other customers. So that's obviously not what you want. A very simple example of that is here. So if you're one of the top 10 banks and you're using AWS and you're using EC2 Classic, it's essentially like the other banks are on the same flat network that you are, or worse, an attacker themselves. So if I were a hacker, what I would do is create an EC2 Classic VM on purpose, join this flat network with other Amazon customers, and start pen testing away. I would essentially do SSL man-in-the-middle attacks. I would do ARP poisoning attacks. I would do every single network layer 3 attack I can do because essentially I'm on the same subnet, same flat network as other customers, and my likelihood of success is far greater than if I were attacking them directly on an isolated network. Now, the good news is there is a solution for this right now. It's actually been there for a while. This is a very known problem, but sadly, it's still very apparent from our perspective. So what you want to do is migrate from EC2 Classic to VPC. This will bring you on an isolated network only to your account, no other organizations or no other customers of Amazon, and you get more security configuration options as well. So the link to do this is right there at the bottom, and once that's completed, essentially another very simple example is that you'll have an isolated version of your network from any other organization sitting in AWS. And if there's an attacker running a machine up in AWS, it's as if they're trying to attack you from the public internet. So all your segmentation, all your isolation, all your ACLs are fully intact as if it was on an on-prem data center. So you definitely want to move from EC2 Classic to VPC. This is not something you want to wait on. There's no reason, in terms of security anyway, to be on Classic. You want to migrate these over to VPC as quickly as possible. So you might be asking like, okay, this is pretty obvious. Why is this still a problem and why isn't anyone doing this? So from our perspective, this is so obvious. So when people aren't doing the obvious things, it's usually because they don't have the inventory. They don't know that it's there. So it's almost like you can't solve something that you didn't know even was a problem. And so that's what we're going to demo today. How do you find these EC2 Classic VMs in your cloud? Because it's not necessarily an easy thing to do until now. All right, here we have DataTherm's API Discovery product, which is an inventory management product for your APIs, your serverless apps, your single page web apps, and your cloud resources. So what we're going to do is going to click on inventory and then click on cloud resources. Now you'll notice after I clicked on inventory, I'm choosing AWS EC2 virtual machine because I want to filter out all my inventory with only these VMs so I can figure out what is still vulnerable in terms of using EC2 Classic. So I'm going to go ahead and click on search. So after the search results are done, you can see we have about 7 or 8 EC2, VMs, and about 4 of them are still running Classic. So this is a quick and easy way to say, okay, we haven't migrated everything. We need to migrate 4 out of 8 VMs from Classic to VPC. So this is a nice quick way to make sure the security of your infrastructure that's hosting your cloud applications is secure and not on a flat network, but essentially doing a quick inventory search of those VMs and then migrating them from EC2 Classic to essentially the VPC itself. And all the details and instructions are here on the Data Theorem portal. Now, if you don't have a subscription, don't worry about it. We'll do this for free because we essentially want to get all customer and non-customer VMs off of Classic onto VPC because it's just the right thing to do. And this is an easy tool to not only inventory that for yourself, but also secure it as well. All right, well, that's the end of our demo and also the end of our session. If you have any questions on today's application and cloud security presentation, please email us at knowledge@datatheorem.com. Otherwise, have a great day and we'll talk to you soon.